Hey everyone, how are you all doing? Today I'm going to be taking a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse, the Flash movie, Batman, aka Michael Keaton Batman. This figure is so special to me for so many reasons, and it's the biggest one is because it's an amazing figure on its own. Like, just in its own right, this is a just phenomenal figure. I haven't done anything to modify it or anything like that. I did use a little bit of black paint to touch up the line around his cowl, like where his mouth is, because it was just a little sloppy, so I just touched it up a little. But I haven't had to do any articulation mods. I kind of like this cape, this drape cape. It feels very nice. It's not super cheap like the Ben Affleck Batman cape, which we'll take a look at that here soon and also in depth in another review. But this cape on this is just so nice. The symbol looks great. I do wish, I know a lot of people also wish this, that he had the gold belt, but I also kind of like that it's just all black, but then you just get lost. Like, you're automatically drawn to the symbol, you know what I mean? So, like, that's the only thing that sticks out. But as I said, this figure is so special to have just from that, but also it's Michael Keaton. You know, it's Michael Keaton Batman. This is my first Michael Keaton Batman figure because I'm not getting the Mezco one because that's an ungodly amount of money. Also, the leak list, if they're to be believed, we're going to get an 89 Batman from McFarlane. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we get that because that'll be so kick-ass. Without further ado, let's get into this figure because I'm gushing over this thing and I have been since I got it. So taking a look at what he comes with first, as you can see, he does have a pair of fists on him currently out of the box. And these look really good. I like the like sort of techie detail that's going on his hands. They look really good. I like the gloves. They look pretty nice. The hands kind of look a little, it's weird. They actually look a little sort of circular, or, you know, they're not angular when it comes to the knuckles for the fist, but it's actually accurate because how gloves are, they're not a straight line, you know, whenever you have them on. But those look pretty good. And then he also comes with a pair of grip hands, which are not bad either. They're not too shabby. Decent grip. It's a tight grip though. Like, it's hard plastic, so just be careful. And the way the hands come off, it's crazy how these are on here like this. Because, you know, we're just so used to other companies, like, not being this way, and it's so deep, and it actually looks really good on the figure. Like, it looks very fluid, and there's not really, like, a lot of gappage going on to make it look bad by any means. And then grip hands wouldn't be worth much if he didn't have something to grip, and he comes with two things, actually. He comes with the Batarang, which this looks really nice. I like this. Has some nice detailing on it. Looks really good. Fits in the hand very well. It is a nice pliable kind of material too, so you shouldn't have to worry too much about it breaking unless you tried to fold it in half naturally. But then in the same color, he also comes with the grapple gun, which is really nice as well. The details on this are a little bit softer, but it still looks really nice. I'm very happy to have this. This suit, I love its simplicity, but also modernization, while also maintaining the classic look of the '89 suit. And, you know, Batman Returns suit, but whatever. I can't get over this thing. The way they have done this is just beautiful. He does have a little bit of the side eye going on, which I know that's going to rub a lot of people the wrong way, but it's Michael Keaton's Batman. You know, he couldn't turn his head or anything, you know, for that. So, like, I feel like this just makes sense for him to have some side eye going on, you know, giving that little bit of extra sass. But he does actually have his head is movable in this one, which is really nice. It is cool to kind of see that. Like I said, I did have to touch up the cowl line a little bit. You can see it's still a little bit of skin going on right there. But after doing that, it looks good. I'm not the biggest fan of the way these look right here. They're so rounded at the top of his cowl. I think I might come in and just snip these a little bit just to make them a little bit sharper. But it's very weird. I get why they did it for the sake of, you know, it being a toy and all that, but... And I'd say arguably the most important piece is his symbol. This looks good. It looks great. I like the paintwork on it. It's not sloppy at all. It looks really good. I like it. Same with the musculature. I think the musculature looks really good on the suit, but this looks a little bit more techy. But it still maintains that musculature. And the belt on here is pretty good. I like it as well. I could definitely see this just, you know, people taking this, painting it gold or painting it yellow, either or, and it'll make this figure a nice sort of blend between the '89 and then the Flash suit. His gauntlet things look really nice. The boots also have a similar sort of kind of cut type rigid design in them. And there's actually some sort of, it's so weird. I almost want to say it's like a gold dry brush but if you can kind of see it, there's just some slight gold going on in his boots, but they're really nice. I like the detail that are in these. The way that this is sculpted too for his legs, I really like these boots. It really threw me off at first because I thought that there was like a third piece going on, but it's not. It's just the standard boots going on, so it looks really nice. And then while we have the cape up, let's take a look at the back here. You can see all that musculature going on back here too with the shoulder blades and his shoulders and, you know, backs of the legs, backs of the boots. He's got sort of, you know, 2 little random pouches in the back. Maybe it's for holding a grapple gun or something. I don't know. But this looks awesome. The cowl also is a separate piece. So this, if you did want to heat up maybe and then, or pry it off or whatever to put on a wired cape, you could probably do that and it probably wouldn't be too much trouble. But like I said, this cape is actually really nice. I like it. It's a little see-through, but I don't know. I really like it. And then if I bring in the Ben Affleck Batman figure from this same wave, I don't know. This just feels cheap. It feels very flimsy and kind of basic. But for whatever reason, this one looks really good on this Keaton Batman. And now going over articulation, as I said, he can move his head. So it can look up all the way down. He's got some tilt, rotation. His shoulder pads are 95% connected to the arms, and then they run up underneath the cowl right there, so they can only get out to about right here. But it's actually not that bad, because while you would like it to be more, when you start posing him around and everything like that, it's not as big of a deal as you'd think it would be. His arms can go that far across, which is really good. He's got the bicep swivel, of course, double jointed elbows that make his arms go up all the way. Standard McFarlane joints at the hands. As for his ab crunch, I did no modifications on this figure whatsoever. And look at that. Look at that crunch just out of the box. That's awesome. Got some tilt, rotation at both the diaphragm and the waist. His legs go out that far. He can just kick everybody. They go that far forward and that far back. No thigh swivel or anything, but there is the slightest little bit of movement at the joint there. He's got double jointed knees that go up all the way. He can kick his own ass. And then, of course, like I said, standard McFarlane joints at the ankles. And, of course, the toe pivot. And now on to some size comparisons. Here he is next to the unmasked version, the Target exclusive gold label one, and then the Flash figure from this. And this looks pretty good. I like this. I do think, let's see, let's move the head just up a little bit so he's looking more forward instead of straight down. The neck piece and head are different, obviously, between these two Batmen, and it makes him a little bit taller on the unmasked version, so just keep that in mind, but the whole rest of the body is the exact same. And then here he is next to the Gal Gadot Wonder Woman from Shazam! Fury of the Gods, and then the Ben Affleck Batman, who is still, for some reason, they made the Ben Affleck Batman short again. I don't know what it is. They keep making his version of Batman short. Why? I don't know why they keep doing this. But it's fine. I'm not bitter about it. They also basically didn't even paint that figure. Again, I'm not bitter about it. We'll go into the review. And then here he is next to the Marvel Legends 20th Anniversary Captain America, and then Robat Bat and Bat, my custom 2.0 version. And then while we go over our final thoughts, I wanted to show you guys something that I was thinking about while I was setting up for this review. So, you know, this look for Batman, right? If you wanted to change the belt and make it gold or yellow, whatever, you know, it would look a little bit more like the 89 version, but it would also kind of look like the 90s Batman. And it got me thinking, I wonder if you really wanted to, if you could turn this into a comic book version of the 90s version of Batman, and if you just switch out the pegs, you could probably do it. But I was looking at what I had at my disposal, and the neck is a little thick, but here is the Arkham City Batman head on this body, and I think this looks pretty good. If you wanted to make this a 90s style Justice League Batman, I think this wouldn't look too terrible. I think this would actually look pretty good. You could probably find a better head sculpt, but I was just looking at it and playing around, and I think this looks pretty good. Overall, as I said at the beginning, I enjoyed the absolute hell out of this figure. He's so fun to mess around with. He just feels good to play with. You know what I mean? Like having a Batman that has a cloth cape, it's a nice feeling cloth cape. You can get him into a pretty good, squaring up pose, which looks really good. If you wanted to get him into some sort of acrobatic kind of poses as well, you could do some crazy stuff like that as well. You could get him doing a super kick. I mean, all this stuff like the paint apps, the very subtle Dry brushing to the boots is very nice. The different sheens of black as well are also really good. I know a lot of people aren't too happy about the side-eye, but I personally really like it. I think it's perfect for Keaton. You know what I mean? It's perfect for his Batman. Here he is just kind of like flying through the air, you know, that kind of thing. He also looks really good on this thing right here. This is my first, like, endeavor into the McFarlane vehicles, like in terms of the actual 7-inch scale stuff, because I have the 60s Batmobile, but this, oh my god, I love this bike. And also, Amazon canceled my Batmobile from this movie, so I won't be reviewing that unless I can find it somewhere else, because Amazon is annoying as freaking hell, but it's fine. Like, just look at this. This looks cool. Like, obviously, this is for the Ben Affleck Batman, but you could also use it with this Batman. I just think that he looks swell. You know, like, he's large, you know, like, that sort of mentality that Robo has with the, with the big figures like that. That's how I feel with this. It just speaks to me. You know what I mean? This figure is probably going to be in my top 5 of the year. Not even my top 10. He's going to be in my top 5 because it's freaking Michael Keaton. You know what I mean? Like how Nick and Schmidt and all, like how Schmidt was on New Girl with it's Michael Keaton, you know? It's Batman. Yes, that's exactly how I feel about this figure. You know what I mean? It's beautiful, and I love it. And if you're a fan of Michael Keaton, you'll love it. And especially if you're a fan of Michael Keaton, pick up this guy too, because I love both of these figures. They are both very, very, very fine figures. And the head sculpt on this is really good as well. So yeah, that's going to do it for me, and I will catch you all on the next one. See ya.